They say royals don't bleed. But what if they burn? That's the whisper floating through Buckingham's marble halls right now. And smack in the center of this wildfire, none other than Prince Harry. Red-faced, raging, and teetering on the edge of losing everything. But this isn't your average royal tantrum. Oh no, darling. This isn't just another tabloid flare-up. This is personal. This is dangerous. This is Britain's most feared biographer, Tom Bower, pulling the pin and tossing a grenade straight into the Sussex camp. And the fallout, already an inferno threatening to scorch Harry and Meghan's carefully polished world. A fortress crumbling. Let's rewind. From the beginning, Harry and Meghan built their public image like an impenetrable fortress. Perfect portraits, angelic lighting, a curated dash of mystery, especially about their children. Archie and Lilibet were kept hidden under velvet secrecy. Rarely seen, never scrutinized. That wasn't by chance. Harry guarded them like a lion with bloodied claws. Mention his kids in the wrong tone and he'd unleash lawyers faster than Buckingham could draft a press statement. But Tom Bower? He's not anyone. This man has stared down oligarchs, prime ministers, billionaires, and walked away with their secrets printed in bestsellers. Now he's pointing his scalpel at something no one dared question before. Lilibet's royal story, her birth, her christening, even her very place in the royal bloodline. And darling, this isn't some flimsy rumor whispered over cocktails. Bower laid it all out on national television, dripping with the confidence of a man holding ironclad receipts. A chilling revelation. According to Bower, the timelines don't match. The documents are murky. Key palace figures never signed off on the rituals that legitimize a royal child's claim. Even more chilling, he hinted that King Charles himself secretly commissioned a legal review into Lilibet's birth records. Do you hear that? That's not tabloid chatter. That's the King of England quietly calling in lawyers about his granddaughter's legitimacy. It landed like a missile strike. Within hours, Harry was reportedly pacing their Montecito mansion, slamming doors so hard it rattled the windows. His yelling was so fierce, it made little Archie cry in the next room. Meghan, ever the strategist, tried to contain the chaos, but even she couldn't stop the rising panic because she knew this wasn't just a messy headline. This was existential, the fragile business of legacy. If people start doubting Lilibet's place in the royal family, the Sussex empire doesn't just wobble, it crumbles. You see, Meghan and Harry don't just sell fame, they sell legacy. Every Netflix deal, every Spotify show, every ghost-written bestseller, all of it has been packaged around the idea that they are the other royal family, the rebels, the outcasts, the crown, repackaged for Hollywood. But if Lilibet's legitimacy falls under suspicion, that sparkle fades. Suddenly, every glossy documentary looks like fiction in royal drag, and Bower isn't stopping. He teased a new book, loaded, he claims, with documents, insider testimony, and what he boldly calls the definitive truth about the Sussex children. That one phrase alone reportedly sent Meghan into meltdown, slamming her laptop shut mid-Zoom call, because she knows Bower doesn't bluff. When he aims, he never misses. The palace's deafening silence and Buckingham silent, no denials, no clarifications, nothing, just silence. But silence in the palace is never accidental. It's a weapon, a message, louder than any official statement. We're letting this play out. And Harry knows what that means. He's not just losing control of the narrative, he's losing the illusion of safety. Inside Montecito, panic turned surgical. Meghan's PR army scrambled to flood the internet with distractions. Charity updates, glowing motherhood pieces, lifestyle rebrands, anything to shove Bower's revelations off the algorithm. Her mission? Smother the fire with flowers. But you can't drown a wildfire when the arsonist has gallons of gasoline left. And Bower? Oh, he's sitting on barrels, deals on the brink. The timing couldn't be worse. Meghan was just teasing new Netflix projects and prepping her shiny post-royal identity. Suddenly, this scandal erupts. Radioactive, unstoppable. Hollywood executives are reportedly backing away. 2 major development meetings postponed indefinitely. One insider from a streaming giant whispered the damning words, "High-risk talent with low trust." That's industry code for not worth the trouble. But Harry? He's not calculating deals. He's consumed by rage. Sources claim he's obsessed, not with disproving Bower, but destroying him. He's called top lawyers in both the UK and US asking the same question again and again. Can we sue him before the book comes out? The answers have been brutal, because Bower doesn't just write gossip. He builds legal fortresses. Every line triple-sourced, triple-lawyered. Suing him is like punching a brick wall. And worse, if Harry sues and loses, it would validate Bower's claims. That's the trap. Fight and risk exposure. Stay silent and look guilty. Every path is poisoned. Insiders whisper Meghan is furious with Harry. She begged him months ago to take early whispers about Bauer seriously, to threaten legal action, to scare publishers, to block the deal. But Harry brushed it off, clinging to the fantasy that the palace would defend them if things spiraled out of control. Now, he knows that cavalry is never coming, because behind palace gates, a very different game is being played. The Ghost Protocol, Charles and William aren't scrambling. They're planning. Palace aides have reportedly enacted what they call the Ghost Protocol. No comments, no denials, no leaks, just a solid wall of silence. It's not cowardice, it's strategy. Let Harry flail. Let the press run wild. The less the palace engages, the more unhinged Harry looks. Behind the curtain, though, contingency plans are stacking up. Legal frameworks, emergency statements, even whispers of potential succession adjustments if things get explosive. No one wants to erase a child from royal history. But the monarchy knows one ugly truth. Survival often demands sacrifices. Public opinion turns. And while the palace stays silent, something darker is happening. Public opinion is shifting. For the first time, Harry and Meghan aren't bathing in sympathy. Instead, skepticism is bubbling. People are remembering contradictions from past interviews, the Oprah spectacle, the Netflix dramatics, the carefully cropped baby photos that always raised quiet doubts. Now, with Bauer's bombshell dangling over everything like storm clouds, those doubts are mutating into something worse: belief. And that's what's eating Harry alive. Not the accusations themselves, but the silence, the whispers, the doubt. He can't sue doubt, he can't shout it down. It spreads quietly, invisibly, and it's everywhere. Montecito in lockdown. Inside Montecito, things have spiraled into paranoia. Meghan's team is fielding frantic calls, begging magazines for soft-focus profiles before Bauer's book lands. Harry has reportedly forced staff to sign new NDAs, even though most already had. Security doubled, access to the children slashed. Even long-trusted caretakers pushed aside. What once looked like privacy now looks like lockdown. Meghan's inner circle is fractured. Some want to retreat, go dark, let the storm blow past. Others want to fight, leak anecdotes, drop family photos, even release medical records if needed. But Meghan knows the truth. Once you try to disprove a rumor, you give it oxygen. And this one, it's already roaring like a landslide. The media frenzy Bauer, infuriatingly calm, hasn't said a word since dropping his teaser. But that silence? It's louder than thunder. Tabloids are spinning theories by the hour. Morning shows are dissecting royal legitimacy laws. Even serious journalists are digging through archives, piecing together birth announcements, timelines, christening ceremonies. Bauer hasn't just stirred the pot, he's turned the entire global press into sharks circling the same drop of blood. In London, the palace keeps its stone mask. Charles attends state meetings. William sticks to his schedule. But behind those walls, crisis sessions, constitutional experts poring over dusty handbooks, legal advisors gaming out every nightmare scenario because monarchy, darling, is about one thing: bloodlines. And if those are questioned, the crown itself trembles. The calculated timing. Here's what makes this sting like poison. Insiders claim Bauer timed his revelations with brutal precision. Just before a major royal event, Charles about to appear before Parliament in full ceremonial regalia, the crown gleaming, cameras everywhere. If Bauer's book lands right before that, it doesn't just embarrass Harry, it destabilizes the throne itself at its most visible moment. Harry knows it. That's what makes his rage boil hotter. This isn't just about him anymore. It's about his father, his brother, the monarchy, and how one man's pen could shake it all, a permanent stain. But here's the real nightmare. Scandals fade, headlines die. But if this sticks, it becomes history. Children grow up under clouds they never created. If Lilibet ever steps into the spotlight, she'll carry this fog forever. Not because of her choices, but because her father couldn't stop it. And Meghan, she's already plotting her exit route. Whispers say she's taking meetings without Harry's team, lifestyle partnerships, publishing deals, rebranding as a businesswoman, a mother, maybe even dropping the Duchess label entirely. Not betrayal, just survival. She knows if Harry goes under, she doesn't have to. The collapse of a fairy tale. And that, darling, is the true tragedy. Harry thought he was building something new. He was building a legacy free from palace politics, paparazzi poison, and the weight of the crown. But legacy is fragile. Build it on silence, secrets, and spectacle, and it takes just one man with a pin to turn it all to dust. Bauer hasn't even swung the final blow yet. He doesn't need to. The damage is done. Trust, gone. The fairy tale? Cracked. And for Harry, red-faced, raging, pacing those Montecito halls, that's the real loss. Not the book, not the headlines, but the slow, merciless unraveling of the story he thought would protect his family forever.